Alrighty then! What's up, my pilots? Angryponcho here. We're back playing Let's Battle Blaze Black. We're here on Twist Mountain, and it's time for another battle with our friend Cheren. Our fully evolved final team is excited. They're ready to battle. The adventure awaits, etc., etc. And now that it's really nice, actually, because I'm getting to film these videos a lot more often than I was, because I had to go and like raise like 2 or 3 Pokemon from scratch. Like all of those Pokemon that I used, every single Pokemon that I've used in this LP, except for Daedalus, I hatched at the breeders so I could get the good nature, and then trained them all the way up from level 1 to whatever level they were in the video. Daedalus I caught at level 16, so you know, no big deal there, because it was the first one. So yeah, it took a lot of time to film them, but now that I have the full party in my employ already, I don't have to do that every time, and so videos are coming up a lot more often, which is nice. And it is a rotation battle with Cheren. I never know going into these what it's going to be, because sometimes it's just a normal battle, sometimes they throw a triple battle gym leader at you and don't even tell you. Like, she didn't say anything before the battle to make me think that was what it was going to be. There was no warning. And when you come into a triple or a rotation battle with Cheren, he doesn't even say, "Hey, let's do rotation battle this time." And you're like, "Oh, I don't know, I don't like those." Like, no, he just does it. Like, he sends out 3, and like this big rotating thing on the ground appears, and it's like, oh, I guess I better do a rotation battle now. Yeah, this fight's not exactly super complicated, but then I tried to run like an idiot. Like, what am I doing? I think I must have just accidentally clicked on it, because that makes no sense for me to be like, oh, I'm just gonna run. I'm gonna run from my friend and be like, no, I don't want to fight you. I won't do it. Yeah. Oh man, I'm trying to record. I'm trying to do some recording like first thing in the morning now, because I found that I have some free time in the morning that I typically just whittle away, fritter and waste hours in an offhand way, and then I had to go to class before I know it. And it's like, well, maybe I should try and get something done in the morning. So I'm filming this. It's weird. It's like I'm back over the summer where the first thing that I recorded every day, or the first thing I said every day, was "What's up?" Or actually, it's "Alrighty then." I say "Alrighty then" to test my mic, and then I say "What's up?" when I start the video. It's kind of strange when the first thing that you say in the morning is being recorded, because your voice sounds a little weird first thing in the morning. Oh, and Houndoom brings out the Intimidate. I gotta check here. Yeah, it only lowers the attack of the Pokemon that he's up against when he comes in. So that's cool. I was gonna have Houndoom in my party, just because I love Houndoom. That's like top 5 in terms of my favorite Pokemon. Houndoom is great. I just really like it. Unfortunately, it didn't make the cut to my final team because its stats weren't stellar. It's not on the level in terms of stats that the rest of this team is on, and it just wasn't gonna keep up when we got to the higher level matches. It was gonna start falling behind due to its lower base stats, and so I figured I'd rather have a Pokemon I can use rather than one I really liked but wasn't good to me. Wasn't any good to me, whatever. Yeah, so I think that like 4 or 5 of my Pokemon in this battle get a level up, which is weird. Like, it keeps coming, man. Oh, I should mention, I have all the Pokemon holding lucky eggs, so that I can get increased experience. That's another reason the battle's coming more often, because it's making my training go a lot faster, which is nice. I don't mind that at all. I don't think that's cheap at all. They're included in the game. The thing is, Blaze Black gives you 6 of them, so all of my Pokemon have one, which is like, whatever. I mean, if I only had one, I would just be shuffling it among them, so I would be like trying to use that Pokemon as much as possible, so there's not much change, really. Oh, Psychic type attack. Alakazam's got kick-ass special attack. But, yeah, so what was I saying? Yeah, so that's making the battles go a lot more quickly, which is nice. And then, speaking of special attack, and whenever I look at Alakazam, I'm like, that's a cool Pokemon. I want that Pokemon. And then I remember that it's not a dual type. Like, one of the requirements I had when I was creating this team of 6 that I've made now is, and now that you've seen, is that every Pokemon should be a dual type. That was one of the things I was adamant about, because I think dual types get a huge advantage over single types, because they get 2 different types that they get or not super effective, but they get 2 different types that they get stab bonus on, which I think it's a huge advantage. And I don't know if maybe it seems like the only counter argument to that is like, well, they're still on it's still fair though. They're still on the same level playing field because if they've got 2 types, they've got twice as many weaknesses, right? Not so, not really. Because a lot of dual types they complement each other really well. Like I know if you pick the types correctly, you can mix up. You can just pick random types and be like, okay, I need a bug Pokemon. What should I pair with that? And you'll find a type like, oh, like what's a good example here? Like basically, you can avoid those 4 times weaknesses if you're careful, and if you're really, you know, everybody knows that the dark, what is it, dark ghost Pokemon, I believe, have no weaknesses, so they like perfectly like counterbalance each other. So I think that being a dual type again gives them an advantage because they can protect themselves from the more different kinds of moves. And then, so I feel like dual types just have a huge advantage over single types. And I have sort of a proposed change to the game. I'd like to know what you guys think about it. I think so normally a stab bonus is 1.5 times damage for if you use an attack that's the same type as your Pokemon. I think that dual types their stab should be like less than the stab for a single type. Like for example, maybe dual types only get a stab of 1.25. But the single types get a stab of 1.5 to make up for the fact that they only get 1 type that they get the bonus on. I don't know, it just seems like an interesting idea. Let me know what you think in the comments, or do you think that would break the game? It might be something I'm not considering, and that, like, oh, it's already balanced and I'm not noticing it. And then Gigaquell wants to learn Magnet Rise. 2 matches in a row where I have to, like, take a minute to decide whether or not I want to move. Anyway, Magnet Rise makes it immune to ground-type moves for 5 turns, which is great, because it's Gigaquell's only 4 times weakness. So it's pretty nice. That's all for this battle. See you guys next time.